Hello everyone, it's your local internet serial killer, No Miss Yalf here, on another episode of Mans Land. Today we've got the infamously well-known ThisJoe, but first I feel like it's necessary to introduce you to the pretty much non-known DeathMeadows. Introduce yourself, DeathMeadows.
Hey, it's Meadows again. Like I said, I've worked behind the sheets from work a lot, and then I do behind the scenes a lot of stuff.
And as I just said previously, we have the infamously well-known and meme-filled one and only ThisJoe. So, introduce yourself, Joe.
Hello, monkeys. Am I allowed to say that?
You're allowed to say that, but don't talk about. Let's maybe not talk about COD points, okay? Because else then.
Yeah, I'll
No.
Kind of
Okay.
like the last 3 live streams I did.
Yeah, kind of. Yep. Kind of.
top points are very bad.
Okay. So, Joe, tell us about yourself, including your channel and stuff.
About like what I do.
Yeah.
I make memes and I fuck up really bad with false allegations.
Fair enough. And if I'm not
That's the funny part.
If I'm not mistaken, a fair amount of people seem to have this habit of hating on you and then quickly being disturbed by you.
Yeah.
Such as such as the actual comic kind of manga thing you made of you being in love with Malay.
That was all real. Those are actually pictures.
Okay, so it's all real. So what is your own honest opinion about Malay's Twitter being suspended recently? The recent drama surrounding his entire Twitter being permanently suspended.
He got suspended?
Yeah, his entire Twitter got permanently suspended because he basically told people that they were retards and told people to kill themselves, and then he said that I think it was Augie or something like that, basically saying that they messed up because they didn't tell trans people to end themselves. And Twitter saw that, suspended his account for a week, and then saw everyone's reports of reporting him for, insulting and harassing them. And then it led to them seeing those reports and instantly permanently banning him. So, what is your opinion on that whole thing with him being permanently suspended?
I think to be fair, he should have complimented my dog.
That's true. Your dog's name's Rocco, isn't it?
Yeah, he should have complimented Rocco. He's very small and very silly.
How old
So
is
silly
your
that
dog?
he pissed all over the kitchen like 5 months.
Only 5? That makes sense to why he pissed all over the kitchen then. He's still technically a puppy.
Yeah.
That's fair. So, I got a question here. So, what motivated you to draw the pictures comic thing of you and Malay being a thing?
I had no other ideas to draw. I was tired of like doing Twitter commissions, and I was like, you know what? I want to harass someone.
That's fair. So, I've got to ask a generic question. What made you want to start YouTube as a whole?
I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah.
You just one day felt like you were going to do it and you just did it?
Uh-huh.
That's fair
I
enough.
kind of just like recorded clips of like me playing like Rust with an old clan I used to play with.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to assume that your first ever video, because that was the next question, but I'm going to assume your first ever video was probably the clips of you playing Rust.
Yeah.
Is that how you gained a quick audience with getting up to over 300 subs now?
No, how I got like my first like 40 or 50 was by just like posting like I don't know, like small little like funny moments clips from like video games like Zombies and Rust and Counter-Strike.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
And also I had an audience on Newgrounds when I used to be on that site.
What happened with that, if you don't mind me asking?
I deleted it. I got bored of it.
And then I'm assuming you moved straight to YouTube after that.
No, I was always on YouTube still. Like I was doing Newgrounds and commentary at the same time, which was a lot of people on Newgrounds, they're not too fond of people who do commentary, which is the reason why a lot of them like disliked me.
I don't really see that as a good reason to dislike you, honestly. I think that's pretty stupid and childish, in my opinion.
Also, because I was really mean with critiques.
How so?
Like like usually like every review is like is like a 5-star because there's like a 5-star rating system. They'll be like good art or whatever, and it'd be like a stick figure or whatever, and I say like this is like shit, and I would get banned for 3 months.
Why would you get banned for 3 months for saying a stick figure looks like shit? If that's
Because
art...
moderation sucks.
Ah. Yeah, I can personally believe that, honestly. Sounds a lot like Twitter, honestly, actually.
Yeah,
So,
they like to compare themselves a lot to Twitter.
yeah. Yeah, they're just as useless as Twitter, so I can see that working.
Yeah.
Okay, so on my next question, what is your favorite video that you yourself have created?
Uh, Let me see. I would probably say I think my most favorite one that I made was commentary slander.
What was that one about?
It was just like the slander meme when it was like popular a year ago.
Yeah,
That's what it pretty much was. It was just like, about small commentary.
fair enough. So I'm going to ask a question more like in the fire, if you will, a heated question. So recently you've been in a lot of drama situations, such as with Kita and with Domino. So would it be too much to ask what happened with the whole Kita situation?
Uh,
Just to like explain for the people viewing.
I have no idea how to explain it.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, with Kita, some stuff was happening with their channel and then lying about certain things about their secondary Twitter and such.
Yeah.
Could you explain, like, maybe, like, explain a bit on that?
It all started off on a whimsical day in a VC where we were reminiscing,
Mm-hmm.
and the topic of her ASMR channel came up, and I went onto that channel to see what it was.
Yeah.
And there's like, very odd sexual undertones to some of the videos with kidnapping
Yeah, and people
and
were
like
joking about
capturing.
it being, like, quote-unquote rape ASMR. Like, that was, like,
Yeah.
a joke or whatever.
And like, I'm assuming like a lot of people blamed me for accusing them of making rape ASMR. I didn't. Those are other people. I can't control other people.
Well, yeah, no, I'm sure anyone with at least half of a brain cell would understand that you can't control other people. They're not puppets, they're themselves. So, I don't remember who, but I think it was Jab saying W rape ASMR or something as a joke. And,
Hmm.
like, obviously, that's out of your control. You can't do anything about that. Jab's his own person, he does his own things. So
Yeah.
I really do not understand why anyone would instantly jump the gun and be like, "Oh, it's all his fault. He caused it all." Because I was in the VC at the same time. The only thing you said was basically about how
It was
it's...
weird and I want them to go.
Yeah, you basically said about how it was weird, it had weird sexual undertones, and you were I remember you mentioned something about, like, the kidnapping usually ties in with occasionally, like, relative to, obviously, like, rape and stuff, because obviously it's
Yeah.
kidnapping. And there's weird sexual undertones almost implied as if it was that. But you never once stated yourself that it was rape ASMR, and you basically just told them to leave the voice chat purely because you were really disturbed by them and what they were doing.
Yeah.
I can understand that. I mean, like, if you don't want them in a VC that you're prominently known for joining, because obviously you're an admin as well, I can see why you would want them to leave after being disturbed by them. I mean, you are an
Hmm.
admin here.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to mention about that situation?
Uh, not really. That drama kind of just lasted for 2 days or 3 days.
Hmm. Well, what about the whole situation with Domino? If we could like reflect on that, if you will.
He sent child porn to you and Bear
Oh,
Studios.
hey. See?
Okay, so we should maybe say COD points as to avoid YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
COD
okay. It's okay.
porn.
And yeah, no, I get it. Like, it
You're a full
is
CPU
kind
enjoyer.
of it is kind of weird, yeah, because I remember. So I'm not going to state who did the finding of IPs, whatever, but we've got like a close friend who tends to basically check people in case of weird shit or in case something happens. And he checked to find that both IPs on both accounts, strictly without VPN, were pretty much just a case of the exact same, meaning they would have to be the exact same person. And the same IP, it either means the person owning Domino's Twitter is said person, or the newly created account that sent the CP would be belonging to Domino.
I mean, with the way he's acting, I'm pretty sure it's him. And also,
Yeah,
people have said he had a past of like allegedly doxing people and like gay opping.
yeah, no, he has a habit of doing that. I'm pretty
And also,
sure.
he's being pretty silly as of recently. Like how some people told me in his server, he's every ping like is like about me.
Is he
Honestly,
still
that's quite
obsessed with you
petty.
that bad?
That's a good question. Is he still like is because like this is a bit weird that he would still be this obsessed with you. This is kind of childish.
It's one
I
of
think it
Charles.
all started like back a year ago when me and Kuma were making fun of him for only deadlifting 150 pounds on a server.
Really? He'd
Yeah,
be that petty over being outweighed.
yeah.
That's pretty petty.
I think it's very silly and goofy.
Yeah, it is quite weird overall in my opinion. I'd think that that's probably well, yeah, definitely the weirdest.
Children say children, you know?
Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. But like overall, the fact that he's got this strange obsession with you is rather weird. Not to mention I've talked to people as well. He has now made it sort of almost like a life's mission to out pedos in a way. So if you've seen some of his stuff, he's basically been posting shit where he's like, gotcha, proven pedo, and post the DMs, yeah. And so far, it just looks like him trying to take attention away from the fact that he had CP and sent it to both me and Bear Studios. And
Yeah.
it's quite scummy. Like,
Oh yeah. Also, Bear's a minor. He's 14. Oops,
yeah,
Domino.
it is quite fucking weird that you would send. Like, it is quite fucked to send CP to a minor.
Yeah.
Overall, in my own opinion, with this, like, him posting where he's exposing pedos, I think personally what it is he's guilty and he is basically spooked by the fact that he's been caught, and this is his way to try and take attention away from that. But
Yeah.
that could just be my own opinion.
I'd believe it.
It seems more believable than the whole him trying to get people to incriminate him because, like, I've seen Kumo's video, I think you have as well, on the whole Kita situation, and it
Yeah.
ends with, like, Domino and such. And it's literally just him like you can hear from like the way he's talking, he's quite
Nervous
worried.
laughter.
Yeah, he's quite nervous, and you can because he's like constantly asking, I want to know my IP, I want to see the screenshots, I want to see this whole thing about how I've sent CP. It's very obvious he's nervous, and it kind of just makes it seem as if like as
He
if he's
thinks that
nervous
we're gonna.
because it kind of just feels as if he's nervous because he's been caught.
Yeah.
And overall, I think that is quite blatantly obvious what he's done. Like, it does kind of just seem like he's guilty and he's trying to take attention away from that now.
Mhm.
overall, I'm just gonna say I personally don't like Domino. I think he's stupid. I think he's an asshole, and he acts. Because I've asked a few people, he acts like he had a channel that was terminated. But I've talked to people. He's just an orbiter. He's never had a channel. The only channel he has is him re-uploading content cop.
Yeah, I never remembered him having a channel.
It's because he
And I
didn't.
remember the first time I blocked him when I was like pretty depressed and everything and paranoid.
Yeah, no, I can
I
understand
remember
why.
he like tried to make it into a spectacle.
Yeah, because he was trying to like turn you into the next lol cow or something.
Yeah, because 8030 server's pretty dry and everything. Jalen's gone, so they need a replacement. Understandable, I guess.
I see it as quite petty that they would need to jump from one person to the next because they're so desperate for attention. Overall, people like 8030 don't deserve to have this sort of like this benefit of the doubt, this sort of like channel shit where they just gay up people because it's quite pathetic
I
overall.
don't think 8030 didn't really do anything. I think he's just like
The
there,
middleman.
quiet. What?
The middleman.
Yeah, he's kind of just there.
That's fair. Overall, though, I would say Domino as a whole should just quit this shit, quit acting like this, quit being petty and childish, and just grow up. Because
Yeah.
if you've heard his voice, he sounds like a grown ass man, and he's still doing this. Like, it's
No,
very
he's
childish.
no, he's like some scrawny teen. That's all he is.
Even worse. Still, though, as it
I
is,
know.
he needs to really mature the fuck up and quit his shit.
Yeah, I know. Kill skinny people, behead skinny people.
Fuck's sake. But, like, no, like, seriously, I think that overall, he really does need to kind of quit shit. So, let's move off of drama and ask you another question then. So, you've had a channel for a fair bit. Are there any secrets to your channel? Any, like, secret past or secret event, or even just, like, a hidden little snippet secret thing in your channel overall? Any secrets to your channel?
Any secrets? Like what specifically?
Just like anything. Like, if you've got a secret to hide, something you might want to say, something like a little, like, sneak peek, like how. Like how people call me an emo for having a dark character, meanwhile, I'm colorblind, that's why he's black and white. That sort of thing. Like secrets, little small things for the fans who really seek it out.
Like I don't know, like what my character is pretty much.
Sure, if you want.
Like my character is like supposed to be like a self-centered narcissist.
So it's a
Thinks
whole
like
YouTube character then.
yeah,
So, like, basically, you're telling me that your whole channel, how you like make videos, besides the ones that are like centered in drama, the ones that's like, where you obviously have to stick to, the truth and shit, you basically mean like besides that, it's sort of just a whole character and not 100% how you think or act?
yeah. I don't think like I'm that guy or whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe I am.
That's fair. That's fair. Like, I would say that my channel as a whole, like, the No Miss Youth channel, I would say it's not exactly like a character, but I would say it's fucking. It's basically like an exaggeration of me in a way. So, yeah, I'm intimidating. Yeah, I'm a bit creepy and weird. But overall, with my channel, I feel like that's more like. It's not a character, but it's more like a heavily exaggerated version of how I act and think, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not like 100% how we are, but it's almost like it is a piece of us, but extremely exaggerated purely to be in a way of a character. So it's not like how we 100% think or act, it's more like how we think and act a little bit, but it's kind of heavily exaggerated in that sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can relate to that. That's exactly how my channel is. So we got another question for you then. So favorite kind of style of videos, just overall.
Uh, like does it have to be like commentary related?
It can be anything. Like it could be gaming, it could be gaming commentary, it could be commentary, art commentary, just art, speed paints, anything. Your favorite type of video, like favorite style.
Just very basic commentaries, like 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 a video game in the back.
Fair enough. So then, Here's one that I feel like I have to ask, because obviously on the world's most toxic podcast, you've got to ask a few toxic questions. So tell me, who is your all-time most hated YouTuber? One that you despise?
I don't have anyone that I hate.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough. He's a clean slate. No hate. I can respect that. I genuinely can respect that. Fair enough, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, is there anything specifically that you would like to mention on the podcast or talk about before we, move on?
Like talk about
Just
like
anything.
what specific.
Just anything. Anything you want to talk about, even just mention.
Uh, I guess how like the state of commentary.
Yeah, go on then. What do you think is with the state of commentary?
I think like right now people think that we're still in like some form of like content drought, but we're not really. I think it's like people are just very lazy and feel like they need like a reason or an excuse to make a video.
Yeah, so jumping on the smallest of drama and shit with an excuse purely so you can make that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's fair. I can see that. As of recently, it seems like that's the main thing that's happening. Like, they just jump to the smallest shit and just, go with that. They don't even try and check for, facts. It's just, look for this, jump on that, move it, make a video.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of silly because when people do that, they promote damaging credibility purely because they go, yeah, let me just deal with this, and then I don't care if I got the facts right, I just do it for the views. Like, when you do stuff like that, you harm your credibility. It's really stupid.
And I feel like there's also like some form of like lack of personality with a lot of them.
Yeah, no, I completely
Like
understand that as well.
like a reason like why a lot of them quit is usually mostly because they don't really have much anything else to talk about but drama. Like, but you see like my videos, for example, where like I don't know, if there is no drama going on, I'll talk about
Just weird
like I
shit.
don't know, yeah, like weird shit or like
Just a
it's like,
complete
oh,
weird
it's been
schizo
like,
kind of rant.
yeah, or it's like a schizo rant, or it's like me talking about like, oh yeah, it's been like 10 months of me like working out.
Yeah, that's fair. So, before
I
we
think
move
like
on,
people need to be. I think people in this community need to be like less afraid to diversify their content.
honestly, I completely agree with that. Like, people need to sort of, with commentary, nowadays, it's almost like the only good commentary is topic
I
commentary.
don't
But,
think people I don't think people should strive to be like the next like RFC or whatever, the next doc on the radio.
yeah, you want people to, instead of jumping on drama, just, make their own kind of videos. Maybe a drama video once or twice, but, make their own kind of thing and just go off that.
Yeah, or like talk about like something stupid that is drama related, but it's
Just taking the piss.
like I don't know, I've talked about him several times. I guess Mr. Medicare.
Yeah.
He was an old commentator. Unfortunately, he's like dying of cancer, so he like retired.
That sucks.
But pretty much like he was in drama a lot, like Gamergate or whatever. And he
Why's
also
that?
talked about like a lot of stupid shit. And like he also had like like what's it called? Like episodes of like different types of video styles. So like one day he'll be talking about like I don't know, like some internet degenerate or like people who've like committed shitloads of crimes on the internet or whatever. Like I don't know if you ever heard of like the Randy Stairs thing, where it was a guy
Um,
that had he's a guy that killed three of his coworkers because he had an autistic obsession with Danny Phantom.
what?
Yeah, yeah, it's a very
Dude, the fuck?
yeah, it's weird. He said pretty much the story is like he thought that if he killed enough people and he killed himself, he would. That's when he gets his ghost vagina.
What? Well, like
He thinks he thinks he would transition into a ghost girl from Danny Phantom if he killed enough people and he killed himself.
That is very weird. And
He's like he's like a sociopath who like had an autistic obsession with like My Little Pony, Danny Phantom, and yeah, that's about it.
that's massively fucked up.
Yes, very.
Jesus fucking Christ, my dude. That's seriously fucked up. Like, don't get me wrong, I've got autism, but I've never once thought if I kill enough people, it's gonna turn me into this thing. That's fucking
And pretty
unrealistic.
much like what he did on his channel, like the Randy Stairs person or Andrew Blaze, which was his character, was he pretty much like it started off as like, you know, a very basic YouTube channel from like the early 2000s. Like, you know, just like throwing shit at the wall, see whatever sticks.
Yeah.
And pretty much it turned to horribly made flash cartoons that you would see in like that you would see on like Newgrounds from 2004.
Yeah, that's just gonna end in really being bullied. A lot of people get bullied for doing dumb shit like that. Don't get me wrong, if it makes you happy, do it, but, you know, turn comments off.
No, but here's what he did. He like made like he made a music video of his characters shooting up a school.
The fuck?
Because here's what he had. He had an autistic obsession with Columbine, like the Columbine shooters.
Dude, that's fucking, like, don't get me wrong, yeah.
And Danny Phantom.
Well, here's the thing. You could, like, say some of the stuff they do as, like, shooters is fascinating. You could maybe argue that. It's still a fucked up argument to make, like, oh yeah, they're fascinating. Like, it's still a fucked up argument to make, but if you were like, what drives a man to do that sort of thing? What drives someone to snap and do this weird shit? You could say that mentally they are fascinating, but at the same time, you don't obsess over school shooters.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just that's basically like pissing on the fucking victims' graves.
Pretty much like how like it's said in the story, like how it started, is that pretty much he saw 3 people that he didn't know get into car crashes and died, and then he got into a fucking fender bender in a fucking parking lot, which made him lose his shit. So pretty much like, you know, getting like, I don't know, T-boned or whatever in a parking lot caused him to go crazy.
That's very fucking weird, honestly.
Very.
I don't know how to respond to that, honestly. That's just straight up fucked. I've no idea how anyone could get that level of fucked.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Okay, so let's maybe diverge off of that. Meadows, have you got any questions that you want to ask of ThisJoe before we move on to our final question?
No.
Okay, so Joe, for our final question on the podcast, if you could have any one channel, any one YouTuber completely wiped off of YouTube, never to ever return, what YouTuber would you pick to have wiped off of the platform entirely?
Again, like, you know, like the other question, I don't hate people.
Well,
like,
then,
you know, I don't have anyone that I spite or whatever that I want a channel to disappear.
well then, humor me. Pick just like one that you feel like, fuck it, humor me.
Creeper, I don't know. I'm going for the most basic one, Creeper.
Communist Creeper. Fair enough, fair enough. So,
I mean, I wouldn't want to see him disappear either. Like, you know,
yeah,
like
no, fair.
majority of my dramas usually end up like me like taking the piss and like somehow befriending them.
I'm aware. I remember you taking the piss out of me, and then we became friends. But like, not taking the piss out of me in a YouTube video.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like, if you don't have anything else you want to ask, I'd say that's a pretty good interview that we can end here.
All right.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching. This has been Mans Land, the one and only most toxic podcast on the entire platform known as YouTube. Thanks everyone for watching that. Other than that, fuck off. Have a good one, people.